Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Quarantine with Rosh. Today's guest is a New Zealand player who made his T20 debut last year against India and his Test debut last year against England. So today's guest is Daryl Mitchell, so we're just going to wait for him to join and then we'll get started.
Hi, how you going?
Hi, Daryl. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. All good.
How are the conditions there?
Yeah, no, it's not. We're pretty lucky here in New Zealand. Everything's going to plan so far. So yeah, I think there's a lot worse off countries, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. How have you been spending your time during the quarantine?
Oh yeah, it's been nice to spend some time at home. To be fair.
hmm
So yeah, just got a young family, so it's yeah, been cool chasing her around and yeah, just spending time with them really.
Yeah, I had
What about
seen that.
yourself?
Yeah, I had seen that letterbox challenge as well. So how long did it take you to, complete that challenge?
No, it's quite a cool little concept. Over here in New Zealand, there was a big thing probably the week before about lots of families putting teddy bears up in the window. So I
Okay.
walk along and everyone loved the teddy bears. So yeah, ND Cricket came up with the idea of the letterbox game, and yeah, I mean each day you just want to get out and go for a walk. So yeah, it's a good way to kill some time.
Yeah, definitely. And then how have you been able to still keep up with training and, still be able to, I mean, I'm not really sure if you're able to really do any practice sessions. I don't know what the conditions are like there, but how have you been able to, just keep up with some basic training at least?
Yeah, so yeah, we were in lockdown, which we pretty much stuck at home. You could only go to the
Yeah.
supermarket or the doctors pretty much for
Yeah.
about 4.5 weeks there. So in that time, I'm lucky I've got a little bit of a gym set up in my garage.
Yeah.
So all the fitness wise, I could still tick all those boxes and get the running done. Skills wise, yeah, we haven't been able to do any batting or bowling for about 5 or 6 weeks now. And yeah, I guess at the end of the day, we're quite lucky with cricket, especially here in New Zealand, that it's sort of our off time a little bit, I guess you could say. So it's not the end of the world at the moment. There's yeah, definitely a lot of other countries that are in a worse off position than what we are.
Yeah, definitely. Have you started any new hobbies or kind of done things that you haven't been able to do?
No, I said at the start I was going to do a few things around the house, paint a few things, and yeah, I haven't done those, so I haven't ticked off the list that I wanted to get done. But no new hobbies. It's just been really nice to spend some time at home with the family, and yeah, get to see our little girl. She's a year and a half, so she's coming up with new words each day. So it's good fun
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
yeah, be able to spend some time with her.
Yeah, definitely. Have you been, had to have done any chores at home right now during this quarantine?
Yeah, the missus is on to me. Got to make sure I put my dishes in the dishwasher. Is a big one. Learning at the moment. But yeah, I'm looking at my lawns at the moment out the window, and they probably need a mow as well. So yeah, there's probably still a few more chores I got to do.
What's been the least favorite chore that you've been just like pushing off?
Least favorite chore. Probably it's real. We spend a lot of time in hotels, so the actual doing your washing.
Yeah.
I'm used to just leaving my washing on the floor and I'll put it in a bag and it gets done. So yeah, it's a real petty thing. I know it's probably there's a lot more, yeah, more important things that are going on in the world at the moment. But yeah, that was something I had kept getting reminded by the wife that go and put your clothes in the washing machine.
Yeah. Now, if you had to be quarantined with another New Zealand player, who would you choose?
Um, it's a hard one because you want someone that you obviously you're stuck with them for a long period of time, so you don't want them to probably Mitch Satner. He's one of my best mates, and he's
Okay.
pretty chilled. So I think
hmm
I think it'd be quite good. I I struggle to keep still at the best of times, so I'd probably annoy him more than he'd annoy me. Um, but yeah, no, he's pretty chilled. We call it. I don't even know if he's got a heart rate. He's that calm. So yeah, I'll probably just sit there and watch, chill, play with a PlayStation, bit of Netflix with him, and I'm sure he'd have the golf club out chipping around the house.
Yeah, definitely. So now let's move on towards your childhood. So when did you start playing cricket?
Um, I guess from a very early age, me and Dad and my sister would be out in the backyard playing cricket. Probably from whenever you can pick up a bat, I'd say probably 5. Um, and then probably actual proper games. School stuff was about year 4 at school, so I'm not sure how old that is. Yeah, as I said, 8, 9 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, always most Kiwi kids, it's rugby in the winter and then cricket in the summer,
Okay.
and that's sort of just how it works.
Yeah. Who was your childhood cricket hero that you looked up to?
Um, I loved watching Ricky Ponting.
Mm.
I know he's Australian, he's not a Kiwi, but yeah, I loved watching him bat. Just yeah, the way he sort of took teams on, and it's probably around that era where the Aussie team was really dominant. So yeah, I loved watching him, especially his pull shot.
Yeah, definitely. During your school days, did you ever kind of skip school to go and watch matches or anything like that?
I'm trying to say, yeah, it probably was times. I can remember a few times with Dad would go sit up on the bank at Seddon Park, and whether it's watching Northern Districts or the Black Caps, I can definitely remember those times. I've got real fond memories of sitting after Christmas Day at our beach house on Boxing Day, sitting down and watching the cricket as a kid. I think that's where the real love for the game probably came about. So yeah, got some cool memories of that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And then what was your least favorite subject in school?
Uh, what was my least favorite? Probably English. Like, I'm I'm not great with the whole storytelling and all that sort of.
Okay.
If I do read a book, it'll be an autobiography or something like that. So,
Okay.
the actual English of writing stories and I don't know why it just never really hooked me for some reason. I'm
Yeah.
more a numbers, maths, and science
Mhm.
kind of guy.
No, I can relate. Math was definitely my favorite subject, and English I didn't like as much. And with English, it's like especially American English, we have a lot of rules, like a lot of different rules that you have to remember in a sentence and everything. So it was just not always so fun.
Yeah,
So now let's move on to kind of cricket. So what are some of your favorite moments with the Northern Districts team? So, playing for them, what have been some of your highlights?
Um, yeah, I guess growing up as a young kid, I used to go watch Northern Districts play.
Yeah.
So then to be able to play my first game for ND was a big thing. I remember as an under 14-year-old, they had like Northern Districts under 14s, and you get given your maroon cap with your tracksuit, and for me to then be able to play for the Knights those years later, that's something that's pretty special. Also, yeah, probably going to the Champions League with the Knights to take on Mumbai Indians and teams
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool experience. I was only, I think, 20 or 21 at the time. So yeah, for me, that's something that I'll always cherish.
Yeah, definitely. So now last year, let's talk about your international debut, the T20 debut you had against India when India came last year. So how did it feel, to be wearing your national colors?
Yeah, it's something you dream of as a little kid, is to represent New Zealand and to get that opportunity, and then also to play against a team like India as well is pretty special. It all, looking back now, that first game was a bit of a blur. It all happened very quickly,
Mhm.
but yeah, to have your family there, to be able to support, they're the ones that sort of done this ride with you the whole way through. And we literally, our little girl now, she was only a couple months old at the time, so
Yeah.
got a cool little photo of me and my with my black cap on and her in my arms. So it's something that it's pretty special.
Yeah, and definitely. And in that third T20 match, you also got MS Dhoni's wicket. So how did that feel, to get his wicket and like hopefully, I mean, we still see him more in the T20 format, but like still, having that wicket of MS Dhoni. So how was that feeling after that match?
Yeah, I was. Dhoni's he's one of, if not one of the greatest T20 players to have ever played this game, and to be able to even play against him, let alone get him out, is something that I'd say probably when I'm retired and 50 years old or 60, I'll be sitting back and I'll be telling my grandkids that I somehow got Dhoni out. I don't know how, but it happened. So yeah, just to play against those guys, as a kid growing up watching him. So yeah, it's pretty special.
Definitely. So actually, in my fan questions, I had to choose Vijay Shankar's comment. So he mentioned last year that you hosted a dinner as well. He did mention to say hi to you as well. So kind of tell me about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no, he's a great man. I guess with cricket, we're very lucky that we are able to play against other countries and
Hmm.
make some good friends from the other teams. And lucky enough to play against them a couple of times now. And yeah, it was cool that they'd obviously spent a fair bit of time in New Zealand this summer. And so yeah, just to be able to go out and have some dinner and just get away from cricket and actually talk
Hmm.
to him about life and what pressures that they go through. I think it's amazing. So yeah, no, I've got a lot of time for him, and he's a good man.
Yeah, definitely. So now let's also just touch a little bit about the finals last year in the Cricket World Cup. I was actually there as well. So how did you feel kind of, seeing New Zealand lose like that, especially because 2015 I was rooting for New Zealand as well because I was just so mad with Australia because of that semifinal that they, won against India. So that, not going as planned. And then this one, it was just like they were doing everything correct, but it was kind of like England was just meant to get that World Cup finally. So how was that feeling in New Zealand?
Yeah, obviously the whole country was gutted. I
Yeah.
think the boys played some great cricket, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's part of life. It's
Mhm.
part of sport. Is not everything's going to go
Yeah.
the way you want it to. I know that the boys will learn a lot from that experience, and hopefully the mother cricket comes around and does repay us in some way in the
Yeah.
future years or whatever. And yeah, I just think it's nature of sport. There's a winner and a loser, and quite often
Yeah.
there's something that happens which
Yeah.
dictates that. So yeah, I personally wasn't part of it, but I do know that yeah, the way the boys, way they carried themselves, I think through that whole World Cup and with
Mhm.
that loss, yeah, probably showed the character of the group, which was pretty
Yeah.
special.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of character, I think like it's a New Zealand thing. We saw that with under 19 World Cup with the New Zealand boys. New Zealand, the national team has shown it many times. Just kind of like, I think it's their personality. They're just known to, be that side that's very humble, very kind of down to earth in terms of, with accepting those kind of losses and everything. So it's really great to see because even when I was in New Zealand, I got to experience that. So I think that's something that's a great quality about New Zealand.
Yeah, I guess Kiwis in a way we're quite compared to we're quite quiet.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're just sort of happy just to do our own thing and do yeah. It's an amazing trait. You go to England and you see Kiwis who are living over there, and you can tell that they are a Kiwi. So it's something that's
Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty special to New Zealand.
definitely. And then last year, you also did make your test debut against England, and you scored 73 runs. So how was it making, test debut, and then especially against England, playing that type of innings?
Yeah, every kid dreams of Test cricket, especially. Yeah, to be able to get my baggie and to be able to do that at home in Hamilton. Yeah, it was very cool to have my grandparents up in the grandstand who yeah, they've been to pretty much every single game from when I was a little kid that was ever in
Yeah,
Hamilton. So yeah, it's for me that was really cool just to have them there and for them to able to be a part of it. Really, cricket wise, yeah, to play against England was amazing, and it was nice to contribute in a way and get a taste of what Test cricket's like, and yeah, hopefully get a few more chances in the future.
yeah. And then again this year in India A came and you got to captain the New Zealand side against them. So how was, getting that captain experience to play against, even with the Indian A team, there were a lot of national players that were also playing along, as well as many young players that will probably make the national side soon. So how was, getting that chance to captain against them?
Yeah, that India A side, yeah, we've got some very talented cricketers. There's definitely some superstars for the future there, and yeah, to be a captain, yeah, I think it's a good challenge of yeah, dealing with different personalities and tactics of the game, which is it's only going to help development as a player. So yeah, it was definitely good fun. And again, the NDA boys are a great bunch of lads. You know, to be able to speak to them after games and be able to bounce ideas and learn off each other, I think that's a really valuable part of the A tours that go around the world. So yeah, it's only going to help the development of each cricketer moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. And then, the Indian national side came as well. So with the T20 series first, how did it feel with the two super overs back to back? I remember watching and I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah,
It just
it's a bizarre game of cricket. Yeah, I could not have. I don't think that. Yeah, couldn't have pictured that happening at all. Obviously, we did lose the series 5-0, which was disappointing as a team, but I feel like we were in positions to win games of cricket.
yeah.
And we've taken a lot of learnings from that
Hmm.
in the future. So yeah, I think that series will be very valuable
Yeah.
for us as a group moving
Yeah.
forward, especially with the World Cup coming up
Yeah.
in 12 months' time. But
Yeah.
hopefully we can turn those super over results around
Yeah,
next time.
definitely. I mean, even though India, won that T20 series, I mean, the ODI side, crushed them against the ODI. And then the test series, I was there for both matches. So, in the first test match, you took Bumrah's catch, as a substitute fielder. And then the second one, the team winning. So how did it feel, being a part of a New Zealand team who beat the number one ranked test team for the test championship, right? So this also gives New Zealand hope to, be at the number two position, one or two position as well. So kind of how important was that match to win both those matches? And kind of how was it feeling, beating India in both the test matches?
Yeah, I think it was. I'm not sure if 100%, but the stat that New Zealand's never been the number one test team in the world before. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was a massive achievement for the group. Yeah, Test cricket, it's so cool. Like I absolutely love it, and to be a part of that Test championship and to keep giving us a chance of maybe being in Lords is it's exciting. But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, you just take each Test match as it comes,
Yeah.
try and win that game, and yeah, we were luckily enough to be on the better side of that series against India. I think it's like anything when we tour India, it's really challenging for us in those conditions,
Hmm.
and I know it's the same for them coming to ours. So yeah, to beat them is really cool, and hopefully we can just keep playing some good cricket, and yeah, some cool things will happen.
Yeah, definitely. Did you guys like celebrate at all? Any mini celebrations or anything after that series win?
Oh, I think any test win, you'd have to enjoy it because you don't know how often they are going to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, as a group, we did enjoy. You're gonna have some fun when you win a test series, but yeah, the boys were pretty quick into. I think there was the next series a few days later. So nah, these
Yeah.
days it's not like it used to be. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So what is your favorite format to watch and to play?
I actually I don't have a favourite format. I think
Okay.
they're all amazing in their own
Yeah.
way. Test cricket, I think, is the ultimate test of your game. It tests you both mentally and physically over long periods of time. One day cricket's a combination of both T20 and Test cricket in many
Hmm.
ways, and then obviously T20 is the entertainment. You get to go out and play with no fear at times, take some risks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it's obviously a great package commercially for TV and stuff. So yeah, I think they've all got their benefits in the game in the world,
Yeah.
and yeah, I enjoy all three to be fair.
Definitely. What would you say is the most memorable moment so far in your career? If you had to pick one
Yeah,
innings.
my test debut for me, it's something that a few years ago I probably didn't know if it was ever going to happen, and to now be able to have a taste of playing test cricket, to
Hmm.
have represented my country. That's still not still the national anthem, standing there singing that in
Yeah.
front of the stand with my family, and that's
Hmm.
something that you always sort of remember. It even now
Yeah.
puts the old hairs up on the back of your neck. So
Yeah.
yeah, easily that's the pretty coolest part.
Definitely. Who is your current favorite cricketer right now? Current day favorite.
My favorite cricketer, BJ Watling by far.
Okay.
I'm luckily enough to have played a fair bit with him at ND, and just his ability to recognise situations, how hard he works off the field to prepare for games, and just knowing how much he loves playing cricket. Yeah, for me, he's easily my favourite cricketer, and he's probably my favourite human as well. To be fair, so
Okay.
he's a special player.
Definitely. So what is a nickname your mates call you? So do you have any nicknames that they call you?
Yeah, there's a few I probably can't repeat, but yeah, obviously I've got a lack of hair on top, so there's receder, bald, all sorts of abuse flying that way. So that's why I'm going more the beard now with none up there, the upside down head. But um, yeah, otherwise it's mainly just Daz or Mitch, just pretty
Okay.
simple. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna now play a quick game. So I'm gonna play a player's voice, and you need to guess whose voice it is. So I'll give you two
Okay.
chances. Let's see. Okay, so the first one is
full 100% proof as to, they still say there's some kind of leap of faith, there can be errors.
should I play it one more time?
Yeah, go on, more. Give me, yeah.
Full 100% proof as to, they still say there's some kind of leap of faith, there can be errors.
It's an Indian player as a hint.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Can you go one more for me? I reckon I've got. Give me one more chance.
Full 100% proof as to, they still say there's some kind of leap of faith, there can be errors.
Is it Rohit Sharma?
You did take his
No.
wicket. We talked about it earlier.
Oh, is that Dhoni? Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Okay, next one. This shouldn't be too bad.
Hadn't thought about that at all, so I guess that's kind of cool, isn't it? That, a few years later, we're here.
Yeah, it's Kane. You can tell that voice from a mile away.
What is your favorite memory with Kane?
Yeah, I was lucky. I played under 14s for Northern Districts with Kane a long time ago. So yeah, I've known him for a little while now, and yeah, I just think the way he not only goes about his cricket, but the way he carries himself and
Yeah.
the morals that he lives his life with, I think are pretty special. And yeah, no, we're very lucky to have him as our captain of our country.
Definitely. Okay. Next one.
So I guess to take wickets, sometimes you can bowl really well and actually not get the rewards you're after. So there might have been a few games that won this series and
Is that Tim Southey?
Yes. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, last one.
The luck of having a very good wicket. We've got a very good curator here, produces fantastic wickets. But yet again, you've got to go out there and perform. And I think
David Warner.
Good job. Not bad. Okay, now we're just gonna do Beyond Cricket to get to know you better. So what is your favorite place in New Zealand?
It has to be Hamilton. Waikato, it's sort of ingrained in me from a little kid to love red, yellow, and black. So yeah, definitely the Waikato.
Favorite food?
I do love sushi, but also partial to a nice roast lamb as well. So yeah, both of those options.
What is one place you want to visit?
I've never been to New York, and I reckon yeah, it'd be pretty cool to go there at some stage.
Yeah, just not anytime soon.
Nah, not at the moment.
I'm in Jersey, but yeah, not
Yeah.
anytime soon. We gotta make sure
Yeah,
New York
I love
needs
my
to settle
basketball.
itself. Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, I love my basketball. So the NBA would be pretty cool to go watch.
Yeah.
I'd love to see LeBron or something. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. What is one secret talent?
Secret talent. I don't have many. I'm pretty boring, to be fair. Secret talent. It's a good question. I'm just standard Joe Blogs, pretty normal.
Okay. If you were a
I can't sing or
superhero, what power would you want?
Yeah, you'd love to be able to fly. It would be awesome just to be able to fly around, but Superman or something like that, be able to fly around. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially if you could use that talent while you're playing a match, you would be the best fielder.
Oh yeah, it makes things a lot easier, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So lastly, we're just gonna play a quick rapid fire of this or that. So I'm gonna give you two choices and you just pick one. So cold coffee or hot coffee?
Hot coffee.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla ice cream, but otherwise chocolate.
Okay. Movies or shows?
Shows.
Okay. What's a show that you've watched recently that you could recommend to others?
I've watched Netflix that much the last few weeks that I've finished everything. Peaky Blinders, I
Okay.
quite enjoy.
Okay.
Suits, big fan of as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like at this point everyone's just gone through Netflix, like, just trying to find anything they
Yeah.
can watch. Okay.
To be fair,
Winter.
the Wiggles is on repeat at home at the moment with the little one. So yeah, that's there's a few songs that are getting stuck in my head at the moment.
Yeah, I remember when the Baby Shark song had came out, and like it got stuck in my head because I would keep hearing like my cousins play it. Like it's still sometimes like I'll remember the song, so I can
Oh yeah,
imagine.
they pop into your head all the time. Definitely.
Yeah. Winter or summer?
Summer, definitely.
Okay. And then lastly, Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram. I've got both, but I don't really go on Twitter much. So yeah, definitely
Okay.
more Instagram.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Daryl, for joining me. And then I
Thank you
hope,
for having me. It's been good fun.
yeah, of course, hopefully you and your family stay safe, and then hopefully, New Zealand stays away from cases and we get to see you back on the field soon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.